Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Music Minutes with Mrs. Cash. We'll get on to today's lesson about the musical alphabet and treble clef in just a minute. But first, did you know that music can help increase your coordination? Music is like sports in that it can improve your hand-eye coordination. Music and sports both help develop small motor skills when you're playing them. In fact, music is an awesome team sport. Have you ever thought of it that way? When you're in a band or a choir, you're working with your whole team, everybody doing their own part to make something bigger happen, to win the game, to make the music. And you're following a coach who's your director. Go music! Now let's get on to today's lesson about the musical alphabet and treble clef. You all already know the musical alphabet. It's just part of our regular alphabet. We just don't use the whole thing. It goes something like this. You already know the song. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 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 A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The musical alphabet takes those first letters of the alphabet and repeats them over and over again on something we call a staff. Now, the staff we're going to look at today is the staff in something called the treble clef. The treble clef is the clef that we use to normally play the right-hand notes on the piano or sing the higher notes if we're in a choir. First, that musical staff is a series of lines and spaces, and it is 5 lines and 4 spaces, and we read it from the bottom to the top. So the first line is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Anything between the lines is a space, and the line is a line. We take our treble clef, and our treble clef looks something like an old-fashioned G, and there's a reason for that. Treble clef goes like this, curls right around that second line, kind of looks like a G. Treble clef is actually also called G clef. And the reason it's doing that is because it's going to tell us that that second line on the staff is where the note G lives in the treble clef. So if I drew a whole note on that line, that would be a note that I would call G. I'd play it for 4 beats, and I would sing or play the note that's called G. That tells us which specific sound to make. Now notice line notes and space notes. If you are drawing a line note, the line goes right through its ears. If you're drawing a space note, there's a line up above its head and below its chin. You need to be really careful when you start drawing notes on a staff to not squish them up or down, because it makes it very hard for the musician to read. So there is what the treble clef looks like. It's also called G clef, and it tells us where the note G is. It goes right through that note G. How do we take that musical alphabet and put it on the staff? Remember, our musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. There are a couple different tricks to help you remember how to do it. The first one would be the traditional way, which is to memorize the line notes first. And they would be, I'm just going to tell you what they are: E, G, B, D, and F. And you just memorize that. And you could use saying to memorize it. I kind of like every good band draws fans. Some people say every good boy does fine. You can come up with your own saying as long as it's school appropriate and memorize that way. Then the spaces, the notes that are in the space, there are 4 of them because there are 5 lines and 4 spaces. The space notes are F, A, C, and E. They spell a word, so that makes it easy to remember. Spaces spell face. Okay, so that's all well and good, and you can memorize the names of the lines and spaces with sayings, but I want you to realize and understand how the musical alphabet actually plunks up here. So take a look. That bottom line is E, because we know where G is. If we use the musical alphabet, it just goes line, space, line, space, line, space. So if I'm at G and I want to know what note becomes before G in the alphabet, F comes before G in the alphabet. What comes before F? E. So the way those work is I just take my musical alphabet, starting at the bottom line, which is E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Make sure you understand how it works that way, because if you get stuck and you forget what your saying is, then you have something to go back to. As long as you remember that that second line is G, you can apply your musical alphabet up or down, line, space, line, space. Let's review what we just went over. The staff is the lines and spaces. There are 5 lines, starting from the bottom to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Treble clef is also called G clef, and it looks like a fancy old G, curls right around that second line. If you want to practice drawing some and that feels intimidating to you, you can start with a straight line and make a little head and a little behind and some intestines and a little tail. So you could practice a few on your own just by drawing some lines and spaces. My musical alphabet: A, B, C, D. My musical alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just plunks itself onto the lines and spaces, knowing that that second line is G, and it goes line, space, up and down from there. Or I can remember every good boy does fine, or every good band draws fans, and the spaces spell F, A, C, E. No matter what kind of note I put on there, whether it's a whole note or a half note or a quarter note or an eighth note, it's still that letter name. We're going to practice reading some notes in the treble clef in just a few minutes.
Why was the musician arrested? Because she got in trouble.
Because she was in treble clef. Good one, huh? So let's now take a minute to do some flashcards together and read some notes on the treble clef. Remember from the whiteboard that the treble clef is placed on lines and spaces called a staff. We count the lines and spaces from the bottom to the top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines and 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. The important thing to remember is that second line is G. If you want to remember the notes by the sayings, the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, and the lines are every good band deserves fans. Line notes have the line going straight through their ears. Space notes have a line on the top of their head and under their chin. We take our musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and plop it onto the staff. Line, space, up and down from where the G is. Or if you remember that the bottom line is E, you can go up and down from there. You've got to get really good at going backwards and forwards in your alphabet. Whenever I'm doing these, I write the musical alphabet down on my paper so I can use my finger or my pencil to go backwards and forwards in the musical alphabet. If you try to just do it in your head, it gets really confusing. Let's try some flashcards. We'll start with this one. Do we know what that is? It's that treble clef. also called G clef. All right, let's start with a pretty easy one. We should all be able to get that one. It's treble clef note. It's on the second line. It's that line that the treble clef is pointing straight to. So what would the letter name of this note be? It's the G. It's right on that G line, second line G. Every good. How about this one? First space. Do you remember what the spaces spell? If you didn't remember what the spaces spell, you could go back to the last one that you just did, which was the G on the second line, G, and apply your musical alphabet. This is in the space right before G. What letter becomes before G in the alphabet? F. So that is an F, first space, F. How about this one? 1, 2, it's on the third line. If that second line is G, the next space would be A. What comes after A in the alphabet? B. That note is B in the alphabet. Well, we're going to jump all the way up. Top space. 1, 2, 3, fourth space. If you remember the spaces, F, A, C, E. If you didn't remember that the spaces were F, A, C, E, if you remember that this line is G, then you could go line space, G, A, B, C, D, E, and you'd still get to E. All right. How about that one? Bottom line. You can go backwards alphabet from G. Backwards from G is space would be F. The line below F would be E. The bottom line of the staff in the treble clef is E. 1, 2, 3, third space. It's a space note. F, A, C. Spaces spell face. Oh, look at this one. We just did C. And this is one line above C. So what's one note letter? What is one letter above C in the alphabet? A, B, C, D. This note would be D. That note's D. Here we go. Very top line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top line. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of counting to do. So maybe the saying would be better. Let's see. Every good band deserves what? Fans. Every good band deserves fans, or every good boy does fine. Top line is F. Or you could count it from G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Line space, line space. One more for today. Second space. Spaces spell F, A, C, E. It's in the second space, so that is the letter A. It's the note named A. All right, everybody, up on your feet. Let's move around a little bit. We're going to do some dance moves to some funky music. Here's the 3 moves we're going to do for today. I want you just to walk forward for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and clap. And then back for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, clap. That's move number 1. Let's try it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's move number 1. Move number 2. I want you to step out to the side, and when you're doing that, move your arms like you're doing an arm press. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other side. 5, 6, 7, 8. So all together that one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try that with the first move. Ready? Forward and back. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last move is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're done. And we're just going to put all of those together. Here we go. Let's try it once without the music. 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now let's get that going to some music. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Step out. Roll it. Repeat. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. How was that? Did you get up and moving? Awesome. Hope you enjoyed getting up and moving around a little bit. It's been great hanging out with you guys for some time again today. We'll see you next time. Until then, here's another inspirational quote. Bye-bye for now.
I can't bear the thought of a day without music.